Hope everyone will come back. Maybe how can you understand? We just started to read new pages of this wonderful book, Godfather. Please, if you enjoy this audiobook, please subscribe on my channel. Okay, let's get started. What the hell should he stick this in here? Sorry. Why the hell should he stick his neck out? Michael asked. He gets a big fee, Amanda said, a small fortune. Also, he's an important man in the families. You'll be safe, alright? Where's the one who catch hell afterwards? How bad will it be? Michael said. What bad? Amanda said. It means an all-out war with the Tatajalia family against the Corleone family. Most of the others will line up with the Tajalias. The sanitation department will be collecting a lot of dead bodies this winter. He shrugged. These things have to happen once every 10 years or so. It gets rid of the bad blood. The Oh, sorry. They drove back to the mall and to the Don's house, where Son still made his headquarters. Mike, we haven't got the word yet where they plan to take you. Those bastards, Salaz and Kulski, if we don't find it out, how the hell are we going to get the gun to you? Can can I carry it on me? Michael asked. Maybe they won't risk me, and even if they do, maybe they'll miss it if we're smart enough. And even they find it. So what they just take it off me and no harm done? Sonny shook his head. Nah, he said. We have to make this a sure hit on this bastard Salaza. Tom Hagen came into the room. The phone rang. Sonny answered it and help he held up a hand as if to signal for quiet, though no one had spoken. He jotted some notes down in the bed, then said, "Okay, he'll be there," and hung up the phone. Sonny was laughing. That son of a bitch, Salada, he really is something. Here's the deal. At 8 tonight, he and Captain goes keeping up Mike in front of Jack Dempsey's bar on Broadway. Mike and Salada talking in Italian so that Irish cop don't know what the hell they are talking about. Tom Hagen said, "We don't let Mike go until we have the negotiator." Is that arranged? Samantha nodded. Negotiator is at my house, playing pinochle. Mrs. Three of my men. They wait for a call from before they let him go. Pinochle? How can I understand? Is a game of by cards, like maybe I don't know what is this game? Maybe it's like poker, oh, just like that. Okay, how you know how I understand. If you just know what's this game Pinochle, please comment below. Sonny sank back in the leather armchair. Now, how the hell do we find out the meeting place? Tom, we got informers with the Jalea family. How come they haven't give the word? Hagen shrugged. Solosa is really damn smart. He's playing his close to the west. Like so close that he's not using any man as a cover. Like this expression, like he's playing he is close to the west. Close to the west is like he's Sloza doesn't talking about anything to like the strangers. He's like always keep information in himself. Um, We'll have to put a tail on Mike and hope for the best. Suddenly, Hagen snapped his fingers. Said detective, that guy Phillips, why don't you give him a ring, Sonny? Maybe he can find out where the hell the captain can be reached. It's worth a try. Sonny picked up the phone and dialed a number. He spoke softly into the phone. The hang up, he'll call us back. So I said, they waited for nearly another 30 minutes and then the phone rang. It was Phillips. Sonic jotted something down on his pad and then hang up. I think we got it, he said. Captain Mikulski always has to leave word on where he can be reached. From 8 to 10 tonight, he'll be at the Luna Azure up in the Bronx. Anybody know it? Tessio spoke confidently. I do. It's perfect for us. A small family place with big booth where people can talk in private. Perfect. He leaned over Sonny's desk and I ran stopped out cigarettes. About cigarettes, it's like when you just smoke. Yeah, you just smoked and you just like left like a piece of a cigarette, like small piece of cigarette. Okay, it's like stopped out cigarettes into map figures. This is the entrance. Mike, when you finish, just walk out and turn left, then turn the corner. I'll spot you and put on my headlights and catch you on the fly. It's like catching the fly. It's not like she's like she will lie. Sorry, she will fly and he like catch him. No, just like if you just I like he he'll take him like when he will walk out, he will take him on a car. Okay, Samantha, you gotta work fast. Send somebody up there to plant the gun. They got an old-fashioned toilet with a space between the water container and the wall. Have your man tape the gun behind there, Mike? After they frisk you in the car and find you clean, they won't be too worried about you. In the restaurant, wait a bit before you excuse yourself. No, better still ask permission to go. They can't figure anything, but when you come out again, don't waste any time. And don't sit down against the table, start shooting, and don't take chances in the head to like don't take a shot in the head, 2 shots apiece, and out as fast as your legs can travel. Tessius Lamaz laughed. Sonny got up and came to stand in front of Michael. He shook his hand. Okay, kid, he said. I squared with the mom you're not seen her before you left. And I'll get a message to your girlfriend when I think the time is right, okay? Okay, Mike said. How long do you think before I can come back? At least a year, Sonny said. Tom Hagen put in. The Don might be able to work faster than that, but don't count on it. There is going to be a lot of hate and trouble. That's the only thing we can be sure of. Michael shook Hagen's hand. Do your best, he said. I don't want to do another 3-year term away from home. Hagen said gently. It's not too late to back out, Mike. We can get somebody else. Maybe it's not necessary to get rid of Salaza. Michael laughed. We can talk ourselves into any viewpoint, he said, but we figured it right the first time. I've been riding a gravy train all my life. It's about time I paid my dues. Dues. Looking at Tom, he said quietly, at the consigliere. You agree that it's danger to the Don and our family to let Salaza leave? Yes, Hagen said. Okay, Michael said, then I have to kill him. Michael Corlin stood in front of Jack Dempsey's restaurant on Broadway and waited for his pickup. He looked at his watch and it said 5 minutes. It's set 5 minutes to 8. Salazar was going to be punctual. Broadway wasn't that crowded on this cold winter night. Michael flinched as long as the lawn back car pulled up to the car curb, and the driver, leaning over, opened the front door and said, "Get in, Mike." In the back seat were Captain Mikulski and Salazar. Salazar reached a hand over the back of the seat and Michael shook it. The hand was firm, warm, and dry. Salazar said, "I'm glad you came, Mike. I hope you can straighten everything out. All this is terrible. It's not the way I wanted things to happen at all." Michael got inside quietly. "I hope we can settle things tonight. I don't want my father bothered anymore." "He won't be," Salazar said sincerely. I swear to you, by my children, he won't be. Just keep an open mind when we talk. I hope you're not a hothead like your brother Sonny. It's impossible to talk business with him. Hothead, hothead is like he Sonny like is annoyed. He's always angry. He can they can communicate with him because he's always annoyed and angry. He can like focus on business. Uh, yeah. But Mike can. Captain Kulski grunted. He's a good kid. He's all right. He leaned over to give Michael an affectionate pat on the shoulders. "I'm sorry about the other night, Mike. I'm getting too old for my job. I guess I have to retire pretty soon." Then, with a sigh, he gave Michael a frisk for a weapon. The car went up on the west side highway, spinning in and out of traffic. "Anyone following? Would have had to say?" And then to Michael's surprise, took the exit for the George Washington Bridge. They were going over to New Jersey. Whoever had given Sonny the info on where the meeting was to be held had given him the wrong dope. Like wrong dope is like wrong information. Wrong dope. Yeah. Michael kept his face impassive. Was it going to dump him into the swamps, or was it just a last-minute change in meeting place by the Willie Salazar? But when they were gnarly all the way across, the driver gave the wheel a violent twist. The heavy automobile jumped into the air when it hit the driver and was on the lands going back to New York City. Both Michael Kulski and Salazar were looking back to see if anyone had tried doing the same thing. By the time it was nearly 9 o'clock, they had made sure there was no one on their tail. Salazar said to the driver, "Nice work. I'll remember it. I'll remember it." 10 times later, the car pulled up in front of a restaurant in a small Italian neighborhood. There was no one on the street, and because of the lateness of the hour, only a few people were still at dinner. Michael had been worried that the driver would come in with them, but he stayed outside with his car. Three of them said it's the only round table. Salazar refusing a booth. There were only two other people in the restaurant. Michael wondered whether they were Salazar plans, but it didn't matter. Before they could interfere, it would be all over. Kulski asked with a real interest, "Is the Italian food good here?" Salazar reassured him, "Try the wheel. It's the finest in New York." The solitary waiter had brought a bottle of wine to the table and uncorked it. He poured the 3 glasses full. Surprisingly, Kurski didn't drink. "I must be the only Irishman who don't take the booze," he said. Salazar said to the captain, I'm going to talk Italian to Mike. No, not because I don't trust you, but because I can explain myself properly in English, and I want to convince my, because I mean well. Let me insulted by this. Captain Mikulski gave them boss an ironic grin. Sure, you two right ahead, he said. I'll concentrate on my will and spaghetti. Soldier began speaking to Michael in rapid Sicilian. He said, "You must understand that what happened between me and your father was strictly a business matter. I have a great respect for Don Corleone, but you must understand that your father is an old-fashioned man. He stands in the way of progress. It's a business I am in this in its the common scene. There are untold millions of dollars for everyone to make. Let me say is that I had the silent support of all the New York families, and the Tattaglia family became my partners. So I proposed a peace, a truce, a let us cease all hostilities until your father is well again and can take part as uh, ask you. The Cullen family not to interfere. They are my proposals. I assume you have the authority to agree to make a deal. Michael said in Sicilian, tell me more about how you propose to start your business. Exactly what part of my family has to play in it, and what profit we can take from this business. You want the whole proposition in details then? So also asked, you want the whole proposition in details then? Michael said gravely, most important of all, I must have sure guarantees that no more attempts will be made on my father's life. Michael was sure now that the conference was only to get a few days' time. That Salazar would make another attempt to kill the Don. He made his face look distressed. Salazar asked sharply, What is it? Michael said with an embarrassed air. The wine went right to my bladder. Is it all right if I go to the bathroom? Solas didn't like it. For no reason at all he did not like it. He glanced at the man sitting at a table opposite them and raised his eyebrows towards the door of the bathroom. The man gave a slight nod that he had checked it, that there was nobody inside. Zola said reluctantly, reluctantly, relu- relu- reluctantly. Oh my god. To be honest, I don't have access to translate this word. If you know this word, if you translate this word, please comment below what does it mean this word. I think this is really like a nice word for intermediate level. Don't take too long. He was nervous. Michael got up and went into the bathroom. In the booth, he reached behind the water cabinet until his hand touched his small gun fastened with tape. He ripped the gun loose. Remember that Clemenza had said not to worry about leaving prints on the tape. He shoved the gun into his waistband and buttoned his jacket over it. He washed his hands and wet his hair. He whipped his prints of the back suit with his handkerchief. Then he left the toilet. Sosa was sitting directly facing the door of the toilet. Michael gave a smile. Now I can talk, he said with a sigh of relief. Captain Mikulski was sitting at the plate of will and spaghetti that had arrived. Michael sat down again. He remembered Samantha had told him not to do this, to come out of the toilet and start shooting, but out of some warring instinct, he had not done so. Now, how he felt safe, and he must have been scared because his legs had gone weak with trembling. Salazar was luring toward him. Michael, his belly covered by the table, unbuttoned his jacket. He could not understand a word the man was saying. Him, his mind was so filled it was pounding blood that no word registered. Under half the table, his right hand moved to the gun, tucked into his waistband, and he drew it free. At the moment he waiter, the moment the waiter come to came to take their order, and Solano turned his head to speak to the waiter. Michael thrust the table away from him with his left hand, and his right hand shows the gun almost against Solano's head. Thrust. I don't know this word. Yeah, really. Please, if you have like advanced level, if you sorry, but my English really sucks. I can understand this. I can translate this word. I can understand. I don't know this word. If you know, please comment below. The the bullet caught Salazar squarely between his eye and his ear. Instinctively, Michael knew that one bullet was enough. Salazar had torn his head at the last moment, and he had seen the light of life die in the man's eyes. Only 1 second had gone by as Michael turned the gun on Kulski. The police captain was staring at Salazar with surprise, as if this had nothing to do with him. He did not seem to be aware of his own danger. His shot was bad, not mortal. It caught Mikulski in his thick throat, and he started to choke loudly, as if he had swallowed too large a bit of the will. Very coolly, very deliberately, Michael fired the next shot through the top of his white-haired skull. Michael swung towards the man sitting against the wall. This man had not made a move. He seemed paralyzed. His waiter was staggering back towards the kitchen, an expression of horror in his face. Michael let the gun slip out of his hand and made no noise. He saw that neither the man against the wall nor the waiter had noticed him dropping the gun. He strode a few steps towards the door and opened it. Solana's car was parked at the curb still, but there was no sign of the driver. Michael turned left and around the corner. Headlights flashed on and battered, and pulled up to him. The door swung open. He jumped in, and the car roared away. He saw that it was Tesio at the wheel. Did you do this job on Saladas? Tesio asked. For that moment, Michael was struck by the idiom Tesio had used. It was always used in a sexual sense. To do the job on a woman meant seducing her. It was curious that Tesio used it now. Both of them, Michael said. Sure? Tesio asked. I saw their brains, Michael asked. Said. 20 minutes later, he was on an Italian freighter going to Sicily. Sicily. From his cabin, Michael could see the lights of New York City burning like the fires of hell. He felt a great sense of relief. He was out of it now. On the day after the murder of Soloza and Captain Kulski, massive raids began all over the city. Later that day, an emissary from the family's asked the Corleone family if they were prepared to give up the murder. Night, a bomb exploded in the Corleone family mall in Long Beach, thrown from a car that pulled up to the chain, then roared away. That night, also two bottom men of the Corleone family were killed as peaceably as their dinner in a small Italian restaurant in Greenwich Village. The 5 families' war of 1946 had begun. Book second. Chapter 11. Oh my god, we reached book second. Oh my god. Congratulations, guys. For me, I just spoke to myself. I just speaking to myself. Nobody, nobody, um, no, nobody cares about me. Nobody, I know anyone doesn't matter. Doesn't care about me. Chapter 11. After his girlfriend went out the door, Johnny Fontaine was left with alone even before him. Now he wanted human companionship. He wanted to talk like a human being. He thought of his first wife, Virginia, and the kids. He wanted to become part of their life again. He picked up the phone. "Hi, Jenny," he said. "You busy tonight? Can I come over for a little while?" "All right," she said. "The kids are sleeping, so I don't want to wake them up." "That's okay," he said. "I just wanted to talk to you." Her voice hesitated slightly. Then she asked, Is it anything serious? Anything important?" "No," Joanna said. "I finished the picture today and I thought maybe I could just see you and talk to you. Maybe I could take a look at the kids if you're sure they won't wake up." "Okay," she said. "I'm glad you got the part you wanted." "Thanks," he said. "I'll see you in about half hour." When he got to what had been his home in Beverly Hills, Johnny Fontaine sat in the car for a moment, staring at the house. His first wife was waiting for him at the door. She was pretty and not Italian girl. I love Italian girls. Okay, it's not about that. Uh, it's not the point. Did he still want her? He asked himself, and the answer was no. For one thing, he could no longer make love to her. Their affection had grown too old, and there were some things nothing to do with sex. She could never forgive him, but they were no longer enemies. She made him coffee and served him homemade cookies in the living room. Stretched out on the sofa, she said, "You look tired." He took off his jacket and his shoes and loosened his tie while she sat in the chair opposite him with a little smile on her face. "It's funny," she said. "What's funny?" He asked her, sipping coffee. "The great Johnny Fontaine stuck without a date," she said, as Johnny grinded at her. "I had a date with a girl in my apartment and she brushed me off. And I was relieved. No, I was related, like I was feel easy." To his surprise, he saw a look of anger pass over Guinea's face. "Don't worry about those little tramps," she said. "She must have thought," said Pussy, "way to get you too interested in her." And Johnny realized with amusement that Ginny was actually angry with the girl who had torn him down. Johnny shook his head. Uh, "I'm getting fat and I'm getting bald. Hell, if this picture doesn't make me big again, I better learn how to bake pizzas. Or maybe it will put you in the movies. You look great." She looked 35, a good 35, but 35. And out here in Hollywood, it might as well be 100. The young beautiful girls crowded the city less than 1 year or some two. Some of them so beautiful they could make this man's heart almost stop beating until they opened their mouths. And since Johnny Fontaine could help all of them, or nearly all of them, Ginny knew that he was saying all this just to flatter her. She smiled at him a friendly smile. He sighed and stretched out on the sofa. "No kidding, Ginny. You look good. I wish I looked that good." She didn't answer him. She could see he was depressed. "Do you think this picture is okay? Will it do you some good?" she asked. Johnny nodded. "Yeah, it could bring me all the way back. If I get the Academy thing." and play my cards all right. I can make it big again even without sinning. Then maybe I can give you and the kids more stuff. We have more than enough. Jenny said. I want to see. I want to see. I want to. Yeah. Maybe it's a mistake, but I want to see, not want to see. Maybe it's like new Americans rule. I don't even know. If you know, please. I begging you to write this rule because I don't even know about this rule. Okay, want to see more of the kids too. Johnny said, I want to settle down a little bit. Why can't I come every Friday night for dinner here? I swear I'll never miss one Friday. I don't care how far away I'm or how busy I am. And then whenever I can, I'll spend weekends, or maybe the kids can spend some part of their vacations with me. Jenny put an ashtray on his chest. It's okay with me, she said. I never got married because I wanted you to keep being their father. By the way, guess who called me? She said. Who? He asked. Your godfather, she said. Jenny was really surprised. He never talked to anybody on the phone. What did he say to you? He told me to help you. Gina said. He said you could be as big as you ever were. Ever were. That you were on your way back, but you needed have people to believe in you. I asked him why should I, and he said because you're the father of my children. He's such a sweet old guy, and they tell such horrible stories about him. Now they could hear the kitchen phone ringing. She went to answer it. When she came back into the living room, there was a look of surprise in her face. It's for you, Johnny, he said. It's Tom Hagen. He says it's important. Johnny went into the kitchen and picked up the phone. Yeah, Tom, he said. Tom Hagen's voice was cool. John is the Godfather wants me to come out and see you and set some things up that can help you out. Now that the picture is finished, he wants me to catch the morning plane. Can you meet can you meet in Los Angeles? I have to fly back. I have to fly back to New York the same night, so you won't have to worry about keeping your night free for me. Sure, Tom, Johnny said, and don't worry about me losing a night. Stay over and relax a bit. I'll throw a party. I I will. Okay, and you can meet some movie people. He always made that offer. He didn't want folks from his old neighborhood to think he was ashamed of them. Thanks, Hagen said. But yeah, I really have to catch the early morning plane back. Okay, you'll meet the 11:30 a.m. out of New York. Out of New York? Sure, Johnny said. Send your car, Hagen said. Send one of your people to meet when I get off the plane. Right? Right, Johnny said. He went back to the living room and Ginny looked at him inquiringly. My godfather has some plan for me to help him out, Johnny said. He got me the part in the movie. I don't know how. And so he went back onto the sofa. He felt very tired. Ginny said, why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom tonight instead of going home? You can have breakfast with the kids and you won't have to drive home so late. I hate to think of you all alone in that house of yours. Anyway, don't you get alone? Don't you get lonely? I don't say how much, John said. She laughed and said, "Then you haven't changed much." She paused and said, and then said, "Shall I fix up the other bedroom?" Johnny said, why can't I sleep in your bedroom? she flashed. No, she said. He smiled at him and he smiled back. They were still friends. But when Johnny woke up the next morning, it was late. He could tell by the sun coming in through the drawn blinds. It never came in the way unless it was in the afternoon. He yelled, "Hey, Ginny, do I still wait breakfast?" And far away he heard her voice call, "Just a second." And it was just a second. He must have had everything ready. Because as Johnny he lit his first cigarette of the day, the door of the bedroom opened and his two small daughters came in wheeling the breakfast cart. They were so beautiful and broke his heart. Their faces were shining and clear, their eyes alive with curiosity. Then they came running to him. He pressed his face between their cheeks and scraped them with his bread, his beard, so that they shrieked. Jenny appeared in the bedroom door and wheeled the breakfast cart. She sat beside him on the edge of the bed, pouring his coffee, buttering his toast. The two young daughters sat on the bedroom couch watching him. Oh, Christ, he thought pretty soon they'll be all grown up. All the punks will be out after them. He idolized his daughters. That he had been was the worst thing about the worst and living home. In the worst lie way, he had made Ginny understand he would not be pleased by her marrying, not because he was jealous of her, but because he was jealous of his position as father. He had arranged the money to be paid to her so it would be enormously to her advantage financial not to remarry. It was understood she could have lovers as long as they were not introduced into her home life. But the score, he had absolute faith in her. She had always been amazingly shy and old-fashioned in sex. Neither one of them wanted to renew their own marriage. "You'll have to start getting dressed pretty soon," Gina said. "Tom's plane will be getting in." Yeah, Jonas said. "By the way, Ginny, you know, I'm getting divorced. I'm getting divorced? I'm gonna be a free man again." "Christmas is only 2 weeks away," she said. Shall I plan on you being there, being here?" It was the first time he had even thought about the holidays. When he was in shape, holidays were lucrative, scenic days, but even the Christmas were scared. Oh, sorry, scared. Sacred. Oh my god, my English is terrible, awful. The three women of the family walked him to the door and out on the driveway to his car. The two little girls held his hands, and one on each side. His wife walked a little behind him. She was getting pleasure out of how happy he looked. When he reached his car, he turned around and one each girl and turned high up, and there in the air and kissed her on the way down. Then he kissed his wife and got into the car. He never liked long goodbyes. Arrangements had been made, and he waited inside the car while his PR man went out to meet Tom Hagen's plane. PR man like PR manager. When Tom got into the car, they shook hands and drove back to his house. "Your godfather sent me out here to give you a hand something," Hagen said. Johnny Fontaine shrugged. "The picture is finished. The director was a nice guy and treated me right. My scenes are too important to be left on the cutting room floor just for Wolf to pay me off. He can ruin and tell me a dollar picture. So now everything depends on how good people think I am in the movie," Hagen said cautiously. "Is winning the Academy Award so terrible important to an actor's career, or is it just his usual publicity crap?" Johnny Fontaine grinned at him. No, Tom, it's not a lot of crap. An Academy Award can make an actor for 10 years. He can get his pick of roles. The pub pick his pick of get his pick. It's like he can choose the roles. The public go like in, no more correctly. Yeah, I should say chase the roles. The public goes to see him. I'm confident on winning it, not because I'm such a great actor, but because I know primarily as soon and the part is foolproof, and I'm pretty good too. No kidding. Tom Hagen shrugged and said, "Your Godfather tells me that the way things that now stand now, you don't have a chance of winning the award." For Johnny Fontaine was angry. What the hell are you talking about? The picture hasn't even been cut yet, much less shown. It's done isn't even the movie business. Why the hell did you fly the 3,000 miles just to tell me that shit? He was so shaken. He was almost in tears. Hagen said wildly, "Johnny, he worries about you, about your future. He feels you still need his help, and he wants to settle your problems once and for all. That's why I'm here. But you have to start growing up, Johnny. You have to stop thinking about yourself as a singer or an actor. You've got to start thinking about yourself as a prime mover, as a guy with a is a guy with muscle." Johnny Fontaine laughed and filled his glass. "If I don't win that Oscar, I'll have as much muscle as one of my daughters. My voice is gone." "Oh, hell! How does my godfather know I won't win it?" "Okay, I believe he knows he's never been wrong." Hagen lit a thin cigar. "We got the word that Jack Wolf once spent studio monies to support your candidacy. In fact, he sent the word out to everybody who was that he that he does not want you to win, and he's trying to do it without hurting the pictures or hurting it as little as possible." Johnny Fontaine shrugged. He filled his glass with whiskey and downed it. Then "I'm dead. Drinking won't help your voice," he said. "Fuck you," Johnny said. Johnny Fontaine put his drink down and he went over to stand in front of Hagen. "I'm sorry," I said. "Tom," he said. "Christ, I'm sorry. I'm taking it out on you." "Because I want to, and again this rule want to. I want to kill the bastard Jack Balls, and I'm afraid to tell on my godfather. So I get sorry to you. And to show you, I mean, my apology. I'm talking your advice. No more booth until I get my word back. Okay?" Tom said. Forget it, Johnny." He was embarrassed at the depths of Johnny's feeling. "Things aren't so bad," he told Johnny. "The Don says he can cancel out of everything with walls does against you. That you will almost certainly win the award, but he feels that it won't solve your problem. He wants to know if you have the brains and balls to become producer on your own, make your own movies from to bottom. Um, uh, how the hell is he going to get me as a word?" Johnny asked incredulously. Incredulously. Hagen said sharply, "Your godfather is a much more powerful man than Jack Walls. Now just take my word for it that he can't get you the word, and that if doesn't do it, if he won't get it." "Okay," Johnny said. "I believed you, and I have the balls and brains to be a producer, but I don't have the money. No bank would finance me. It takes millions to support a movie. Hagen said dryly. When you get the award, start making plans to produce of your own movies. Hire the best people in the business, the best technicians, the best stars, whoever you need. Plan on 3 to 5 movies. You're crazy, Johnny said. And many movies could mean 20 million bucks. Why you need the money? Hagen said. Get in touch with me. I'll give you the name of the bank out there in California to ask for financing. Don't worry, the finance movies all the time. But first, you have to see me and tell me the figures and the plans. Okay? Johnny was silent for a long time. And then he said quietly, "Is there anything else?" Hagen smiled. "You mean do you have to do any favors in return for a loan of $20 million? Sure, you will." He waited for Johnny to say something. Johnny said, "The Don has to ask me himself. It is something serious. You know what I mean. I won't take your word of silence for it." Hagen was surprised by this good sense. Fontaine had some brains after all. He had to Johnny. He said to Johnny, "Let me reassure you on one thing. I guarantee you that any favor he asks for you will offer to do before he requests, okay?" Johnny smiled. "Okay," he said. Uh, Hagen said, "Also, he has faith in you. He thinks you have brains, and so he figures the bank will make money on the investment, which means he will make money on it. So it's really business deal. Never forget that. Tell him not to worry," John said. "If a guy like Jack Woltz can be a big movie genius, anybody can. That what's your Godfather figures?" Hagen said. "Can you help me driving back to the airport? I saw it all. I have to say." Good, Johnny said. "I'll drive you to the airport myself, and thank the Godfather for me. I'd call him up and thank him, but he never comes to the phone. Why is that, by the way?" Hagen shrugged. "He hardly ever talks on the phone. He doesn't want his voice recorded, even saying something perfectly innocent. He's afraid that they can't put the words together so that it sounds as if he says something else." I think that's what it is." They got into Johnny's car and drove to the airport. Hagen was thinking that Johnny was a better guy than he figured. He'd already learned something. Just his running him personally to the airport proves that the personal courtesy, something that Don himself always believed in, and the apology that had been sincere. He and Johnny would have to see a lot of each other in the next few years, and Johnny would have to pass the next test, which would prove how smart he was. He would have to do something for the Don that the Don would never ask him to do or insisted that he do as part of the agreement. Hagen wondered or if Johnny Fontaine was smart enough to figure out the part of the bargain. Johnny dropped Hagen off the airport. He drove back to Jenny's house. He was surprised to see him, but he wanted to stay at her place so that he would have time to think things out, to make his plans. He knew that what Hagen told him was extremely important. That his whole life was being changed. He had once been a big star, but now at the young age of 35, he washed up. He didn't kid himself about that. Even if he won the award as the best actor, what the hell could it mean at the most? Nothing. If his voice didn't come back, not Now with the Don begging him with Duff, he could be as big as anybody in Hollywood. And he could be a kid. Johnny smiled. Hell, he could be even be a Don. It would be nice living with Ginny again for a few weeks, maybe longer. Longer. He'd take the kids out every day, and maybe have a few friends over. He'd stop drinking and smoking, really take care of him or himself. Maybe his voice would get strong again if it happened, and with his Don's money, he'd be unbeatable. Ginny had the guest bedroom made up for him. It was understood that he would not share her room, that they would not live as man and wife. They could never have that relationship again. When Johnny Fontaine became the most popular singer and movie and musical comedy star in motion pictures, it had never occurred to him to desert his wife and children. He was too Italian still, to old style. Naturally, he had been unfaithful. It had been impossible to avoid in his business. Ginny brought coffee and cake into his bedroom and put it on the lawn table in the sitting room part. He told her simply that Hagen was having him get money credit for a produce package, and she was excited about that. He would be important again. When they had finished the coffee, he told her he was going to work that night and make phone calls and plans for the future. How of all this will be in the kids' names, he told her. She gave him a grateful smile and kissed him good night before she left his room. Then he started making calls. He called the author of the book, the best-selling novel on which the new film was based. The author was a guy his own age who was now a celebrity in the literary world. Johnny called the author at his New York home to thank him for the great part he had written in his book for him. Then casually he asked him how he was doing on his next novel and what it was all about. He lit a cigar while the author told him about a especially interesting chapter, and the final said, "Gee, I like to read it when you're finished. How about sending me a copy? Maybe I can get you a good deal for it. Better than you got with Wolf." Next, Johnny called up the director and cameraman on the film he had just finished to thank them and tells them that if there was ever anything he could do for them, they should just call. And he made the hardest call of all. That no one, the one to Jack Bolt. Was he thanked him for the part in the picture and told him how happy he would be to work for him anytime. He did this merely to throw Wolf over the track. After he sat at the desk and puffed his cigar, three was whiskey on a side table, but he had made some sort of promise to himself and Hagen that he wouldn't drink. He shouldn't even be smoking. It was foolish. Whatever was wrong with his voice probably wouldn't be helped by knocking off drinking and smoking. Not too much, but what the hell? It might help. Now with the house quiet, his divorced wife sleeping, his beloved daughter sleeping, he could think back to the terrible time in his life when he had deserted them. He had traveled with the band city, and that he had become a radio star, and that he had finally made it in the movies, and all the time he had he had lived in the way he wanted to sleep with a woman he wanted to, but he had never let it affect his personal life. That he had fallen for, fall for. It's like fall in love. His soon to be second wife. he had gone absolutely crazy for her. His career had gone to hell. His wife had gone to hell. His family uh, life had gone to hell, and there had come the day when he was left without anything. And then, when he had touched by bottom, he had gone to spend a few days with Jenny and his daughters. That day he had heard one of his latest recordings, and he had sounded so terrible that he had smashed the master record and refused to sing anymore. He was so ashamed that he had not sung a note except with Nina and Nani at Connie Carlin's wedding. He had never forgotten the look on Jenny's face when he found out about his misfortunes. It was a look of joyful satisfaction. How now he was tired and ready for bed. One note of memory stuck with him. Sitting with Nina Valenti, and suddenly he knew what would please Don Carlin more than anything else. He picked up the phone and told the operator to get him in New York. He called Sonny Carleon and asked for Nina Valenti's number. Then he called Nina. Nina sounded a little drunk as usual. Said, hey Nina, how'd you like to come out there or here and work for me? Johnny said, I need a guy I can trust. Nina kidding around said, I don't know, G. I don't know. G, I don't know, G. I don't know, Johnny. I got a good job as a truck, buffing housewives. I love my route, picking up a clear 150 every week. What you got to offer? I can trust you. Yeah, at 500, and you get blind dates with movie stars. How's that? How's that? Then I said, and maybe I'll let you sing at my parties. Yeah, okay, let me think about it. Nina said, let me talk it over with my lawyer and my accountant and my helper on the truck. Sorry. Hey, no kidding around, Nina. Johnny said, I need you out there. Oh, fuck. Out here. I want you to fly out tomorrow morning and sign a personal contract for 500 a week for a year. Then if you steal one of my broads and I fire you, you pick up at least a year's salary. Okay? There was a long pause. Was sober. Hey Johnny, you kidding? Johnny said, I'm serious, kid. Go to my agent's office in New York. They'll have your plane ticket and some cash. I'm gonna call them first thing in the morning. So you go up there in the afternoon, okay? Then I'll have somebody meet you out at the plane and bring you out to the house, okay, Johnny? No, Nina didn't sound drunk anymore. Johnny hung up the phone, and got ready for bed. He felt better than any time since he had smashed the master record. Oh yeah, oh my god. That's it for now. How do you think about this book? How do you think about this chapter of these characters? For me, it's like when it's every with every page, with every chapter, it's like more in this book becomes more interesting. Okay, if you enjoy this audiobook, please subscribe to my channel. Uh, like comment below what what's like a useful vocabulary uh, was in this book. What were my mistakes in pronunciation? What were my mistakes in now in speaking? My speaking in grammar. Okay, I like to hear my mistakes and hear how to fix it. Okay, thanks for thanks for it all. Bye.